And welcome to Wednesdays with Waffles, I think is what we decided to call it, episode 2. This is the Zero Sum podcast. Whoa, I talked that up big time. I'm such a great host. This is the Zero Sum Access podcast, where we discuss video games and various other things, such as Melvis's Luscious Locks, who is our new guest today. It's Melvis, and also joining me is Locke. Found. What's up? Say what's up, guys.
What's up? Melvis here.
What's up, guys? Lost Punk Found, back again.
Oh, so yeah, we're just kind of sitting here hanging out, being rebels, apparently smoking cigarettes on camera, So let's get into Melvis first. New. Let's try and let's get some of that there. How'd you start gaming, bud?
We're gonna do that? Oh yeah, because we didn't do it on the last episode because I wasn't here. How did I start gaming? It was mostly, I didn't start gaming because my brother started gaming first and he had the privileges. He was the one who owned the PlayStation 1, he was the one who owned the NES, he's the one who owned everything, and I was the one with the second controller. For a while, and then, well, things went haywire and I took control. And that's when I started gaming for real. Started off with... The first game I played seriously was Bugsby 3D. And after that was... jumped around a lot. And then when I started really getting interested in shit and stuff like that, that's when I played Half-Life. And I played Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, Half-Life Episode 1, 2. And I played all those, like, just streaming through them all. I was on holiday, had nothing better to do. And that's what I did. And that's when I started really looking into the news, looking for new games, looking for new stuff, getting interested in all that stuff. And that's mainly it. Then I got really interested in stuff like with first person, and then I started getting into like the immersion stuff, like RPGs and a bit of MMO, a really little bit. I wasn't really interested. It's just friends around me were interested, and I said, well, let me try it. Did that for like a month. Wasn't very appetizing for me. But all the co-op stuff really interested me, and this is where I am right now.
Good shit, dude. So, yeah, I mean, you mean to tell me that there is no Half-Life 3? The cake isn't real?
Let's not talk about that because that's a big issue. It stirs up a lot of emotions. Let's just not go there. Not only my emotions, but I'm gonna speak for the general public when it stirs up a lot of people's emotions when it comes to Half-Life 3. It's probably never gonna happen, and if it does happen, 50% won't be satisfied. That's my talk about it.
So it's been a week since this show happened. What have you guys been up to?
Let's go with Lost.
Let's see. He had kicked off Final Fantasy Type 0. I've been playing away at that. I like to grind a lot and level up my characters. A friend of mine who was playing through it at the same time I was, he's already platinumed it, apparently. It requires no special skill to platinum. You just have to finish the game, and then everything you do upon the course will get you that. I'm not much of a trophy hunter, so it really doesn't matter to me, but he did the bare minimum and leveled up like 6 characters in order to get through everything, versus me, where I'm taking the time to level up all 14 playable characters and keep them all ready to go. So it's taken me a little bit longer, but still a lot of fun. Did take a break over the weekend for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare's Clan Wars. So we got the clan members playing on that. Took first place in Bronze Division, which isn't a great accomplishment because it's Bronze Division, but that should move us up into the next few divisions, and I think we're going to go all the way and try to get up into that Diamond Division this time around.
We're the best of the worst.
Yeah. Other than that, Borderlands 2, the Handsome Collection launched yesterday, so picked that one up along with quite a few of the clan members. I actually never played through that. I remember seeing the posters up at GameStop when it launched, but I'm pretty sure I was playing through, still doing Fallout at that time, Fallout 3 and I think Fallout New Vegas. I can't even remember when it came out. I just remember seeing the posters and thinking that it was just a Fallout clone, so I kind of just bypassed it until it came out as a PSN or PS Plus free game last 2 years ago almost. So I played it a little bit then, but was playing solo and didn't have that much fun. Now playing with a bunch of people definitely is a lot better of an experience.
Melvis, what have you been doing since last Wednesday?
Last Wednesday, I've been mourning that Borderlands and Bloodborne hasn't come out in the UK yet. And I've been mostly playing other stuff to keep myself occupied because the rest of the clan seems to be blabbering about that. I've been playing mostly... I went back to First Light just because I thought it was something fun, even though I already platinumed it. I also did a bit of Far Cry, a lot of Far Cry actually, now that I think about it. And tried to actually advance in Rogue Legacy. Get myself forwards. And now that I'm be traveling, I got my PS Vita back. Had to re-download everything because all the games the guy had on it were like 20-minute games that wouldn't satisfy me on a flight. So I went back to that. I actually been going back to Ollie 2, which is actually easier on the Vita than on the PlayStation 4. But that's basically it.
I mean, the stick for Ollie 2 is a lot tighter, but there's still some bullshit that'll happen. But that's why I play both of those games. But I've kind of, I don't even know what I do with my life anymore. School? Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Don't go into that shit. Let's see. Last episode was talking about Devil May Cry. So I was doing a little bit of that. Clan Wars happened. That was my main kind of thing. I started up Minecraft again for fun and then for video purposes. And you know what? The big thing that took over my life for like 5 hours is actually the PS1 sale. The PS Plus sale. I bought another clan. And I'm kind of pissed that right, but that fucker's always right. I've been grinding away Defiance because I can't stop playing that game because I hate it. It's also so damn good. I don't I've been making an engine. But that's what's been going on with us as people this past week. Earlier, Lost mentioned Borderlands, mentioned Bloodborne and Borderlands. I love Borderlands. Let's talk about fucking Borderlands. The 2 games that actually came out this week that matter.
True enough, man.
Well, I'm digging Borderlands now that I'm getting involved with a group of people. It's basically FPS Diablo 3 in a post-apocalyptic setting. I mean, that's the best way to describe it in my book.
Yeah. It's weird how you said that Borderlands 2 was actually a relevant game, even though it's a remastered sort of thing. I would say it isn't that irrelevant because it's like a game that's been out. It's already known to be a good game. I think Bloodborne is the more relevant game here.
I
It's
mean,
like it. What do you mean?
so I mean, like, none of us here bought Bloodborne. I played like 5 minutes of Bloodborne off of SharePlay, and so I mean, I could give my thoughts off of the 5 minutes of gameplay and tell you it's a Souls game, to quote other people, but that's exactly what it is. It is faster paced Dark Souls without heavy rolling. You know, there's new enemies. The game's a lot faster, that's for sure. I didn't even really use the gun that much because I was just playing it like an old Souls game, but it's good. But we can't really speak that much on it right now, so I'm kind of classifying it as irrelevant and saying Borderlands 2 is more relevant because one of us has actually bought the Handsome Jack collection because you and I are in the same boat actually, and also one of my favorite games. That's where I was going with that.
Okay. Let's move on to news, I guess.
Cool. That was a good Borderlands 2 talk.
I don't know, but I mean, like the good things about the remaster is that you get a bigger point of view, like field of view. It runs more smoothly. It feels more like the PC port in that terms because the PC port was the superior in terms of all the Borderlands that came out because of all the options that were there. What?
That's why I played Borderlands. It was the best. Borderlands 2 on PC.
Yeah. They did well in porting it. I haven't played the pre-sequel yet. I'm expecting it to be just as good in terms of the remaster, having more of in technical terms. Let's not take the story or anything or the gameplay, but in terms of like, they really showed us that the PS4 can do more than the PS3. Definitely. Like it can run games more smoothly.
Just a few things that, coming from a perspective that I didn't really get into the game prior to the Handsome Jack launch or the Handsome Collection. Definitely looks beautiful, especially compared to the little bit I played on the PS3 when it was free. As far as you brought up technical stuff, as far as graphics-wise and gameplay, I'm sure it is technically superior now on the PS4, but it is having its own set of issues. The past couple of days since beginning to play, my PlayStation itself has acted like I've never seen it act before. There's a lot of issues with the online connection with Borderlands 2. The playing with friends piece, and this is not just from me, but from other people that I've been playing with in the clan. For me, it does a very weird bug where if I have the game running and I hit the PSN button to go to check messages or whatever, when I go back to the game, it's frozen and requires a hard reset in order to get back in. There's also a lot of issues with, even though when I start the game it says you're connected to PSN just fine and all that, when I go to hit the touchpad to bring up the multiplayer options on whether it's going to be a local LAN or connect online with everybody or connect online with friends who are online, it doesn't always sync up correctly. So a lot of times I'll do that and it'll say it cannot connect, even though it just gave me a message saying I was connected to PSN just fine, my internet's running smooth, all that stuff. So there are some technical bugs from the carryover that I don't know if they were around during the PS3 and Xbox days, but definitely are some things they need to work through and patch up hopefully soon.
I'm gonna just save my ass by saying I haven't played it or just like heard it from experience, like from other people, seen people stream it, and stuff
Like I said,
that.
from a gameplay perspective, technically it is definitely superior. I mean, the graphics are beautiful. Like you said, wider field of view. Somebody had mentioned Heather, one of our members, she was playing it, and she was a big Borderlands, or she still is, because she bought the new collection, but a huge Borderlands fan, and she was amazed at how much detail each of the guns had. She was like, I can actually see all the details in the guns now. It's great. So there definitely have been some huge improvements, but definitely some little tricky bugs they're still working on, which I'm sure comes from a new platform.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back to, because I played it on PS3 and PC and Vita, so I've played like almost every. Actually, no, I've even played it on 360, so I have literally played every version of that game. So, I mean, from consoles to handheld, there's the upgrade, and from PC to consoles, you could see the gun detail a little bit. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, thinking of it that way, there would be a good graphical upgrade. So, I don't know. It could come with a new platform, but let's just move on, you know, because Fedora has walked in my house and told me, here's the news for the week, Waffles. And as he said upon me, he told me that God of War 3 is having a re-release. And Twitch got hacked. Those are the two real news stories that the guy in the fedora told me about. So, oh well, I mean, there's one. Let's not open that can of worms. We'll wait until later. We'll wait until a later episode.
We'll start off with God of War, right?
Yeah, that game that came out in like '08, the second sequel in the God of War series.
I can see why they brought it to the PS4, because like they were saying, there's a lot of new PlayStation owners, people who haven't owned a PlayStation before. The same reason like they brought The Last of Us. They wanted the other people to experience it, like experience the Last of Us, because they didn't have a PlayStation 3. They hadn't played The Last of Us. They only have heard of it. So it's like bringing it to the PlayStation 4 was a good decision, because it was a good game and they wanted more people to experience it. I guess the same thing goes with God of War 3, but I would have expected them to bring God of War 1, 2, as well as the PSP and all the ports, you know, like as a collection, it's just a big collection of all the God of War.
It's like 10 games or something. Like they have they have a lot more God of War garbage than you would expect. Like I liked God of War 1 and 2. I didn't get very far in 3 because I just didn't. But I don't think God of War is one of the franchises that needs a re-release as it would make a reboot or a do-over, you know?
What do you think they should have brought over then?
Well, if I can interject real quick, I was always a Xbox guy for years. I actually just got into the PSN network with the announcement of the current gen consoles. I did not like Microsoft's presentation. I didn't like their business model where they were trying way too hard to be media focused rather than gamer centric. Granted, you know, PlayStation did the same thing, you know, prior, but I was looking for a new gaming console, and I was just turned off by all this. Hey, you can connect your cable box to it, and hey, and it's like I don't need all that. I have an Apple TV if I want to watch TV. I would use my PlayStation or my video game console to game on. So I actually jumped ship from Microsoft and went over to PlayStation. I picked up a PlayStation 3 a few months prior to the PlayStation 4 launch, just to kind of get me into the PlayStation Network. You know, I knew that the control schemes were different and all that, so just kind of to get warmed up. And I've never played any of the God of War series. So I've seen gameplay of it. Some of my friends have played it, you know, but I personally have no experience with it, and I'm kind of excited to have a new PlayStation 4 version of it, even if it is just a port of an older title, just to kind of see what it was all about and have a chance to play through. As far as why not release all of them, I think with the newer ones, it's probably just a lot easier to port over a newer title with less changes to it than it is to try and port all those really old classic titles.
I mean, I kind of there's certain re-releases that I appreciate from my taste in games, like the Dark Souls release. I don't mind because I guess everyone's kind of different with their own experiences. That's for sure. But God of War, I feel like, is one of those games that it has a big following, but it needs more of a re-release than, I mean, not a reboot more than a re-release, because Ascension wasn't received that well. They focused more on multiplayer, and people don't want that. So, I don't know. I guess I'm just one of those people who thinks it needs more than a re-release.
Okay. Move on. What's the next?
The next thing is I joined the second time for, I don't know what's going on actually. I may or may not be joining this party a second time. Sorry. So, what's going on with Twitch? We got hacked. I don't know which camera.
That.
Yes.
No.
I don't know if I'm gonna shout twice, if I'm talking twice. Okay, hang on.
Okay, I don't know, but Twitch being hacked.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. There we go. I'm sorry. My
Okay.
other device was about to die. Okay, so the Twitch hack. They got in and found out people's passwords. How do you guys feel about
Do we know for a fact that they found out people's passwords, or is it one of the things that could have possibly been accessed?
So what happened overall was Twitch got broken into. People's emails got found out. And they also disconnected such apps. So I stream quite a bit. If you just like play with me, I'm always kind of streaming or doing something on the internet. So I have my Twitter and my YouTube, I think, connected. Those were disconnected for obvious reasons, for breaching, because they could just link all that together. So I don't know if people actually got hacked because they just had everyone reset their password next time they logged in. So we'll never really know, but yeah. How do you guys feel about the Twitch news?
I mean, it was kind of a pain in the butt to go change passwords, and yeah, when I tried to stream, it was like, oh, you have to reconnect your Twitch account and all that. But in this day and age, it's not the first company, online that has been hacked, and I've had to change my passwords for. I got the notice prior to me having to use Twitch or using Twitch. So I got an email, and they, hey, we've had, intrusions on our website, you'll need to change your password. So it wasn't a big surprise. I don't know. I didn't research, so I don't know how long it was between the incident and the release to the public that it had happened. I'm assuming that they pretty much right away went out and told everybody, which is the responsible thing to do. Now, if there was some weird scandal like they sat on it for a week before they told everybody, that would kind of tick me off. But it really comes as no surprise. I wish more hackers would use their power for good, instead of all this garbage they're doing that's, pretty much just messing with your average Joe guy. Use it and screw up the powers that be that are trying to screw everybody over anyway. Don't mess with, average guys that have to work an 80-hour week or, people trying to scrape by and all that. Let them, do what they need to do and, go mess up some huge oil corporation or something.
It's funny you say the oil corporation.
Yeah, well, that's a big issue here in the States. So.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird because I wouldn't say that the oil corporations have a big footprint on the internet. That's why, mainly.
Yeah.
But I think there's other companies that could have used with a hack to their systems, you know.
I mean, when you think, I feel like every kind of person has a different outlook on the internet. Like us as gamers, we kind of gravitate towards that side or that corner of the internet for sure. So the big corporations that we see are more of like Sony and Microsoft, you know. That's gonna be the big companies that you mess with, not like I don't know, like a banking corporation that's scandaling people or something, you know.
So you're saying these hackers are gamers?
Yeah, probably. That's just what I assume, you know.
You know what they say about assumptions.
Assumptions. So, the guy in the fedora just walked back in. He has a sign that says, "Oh, huh, okay. Well, I just got not breaking news. Like it's pretty old, but it's news. Listen, Hideo Kojima is leaving Konami after Metal Gear. He's done. He's out. Silent Hills is no one knows what that's going to be now. What that's going to be. That is, I could speak English. Don't worry about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, Hideo Kojima's leaving Konami. What do you? I mean, I've like seen. I haven't really gotten deep in Metal Gear. I've watched like the Giant Bomb guys play Metal Gear, and that's fun for me. But I haven't actually played it myself, and I don't know if any of you guys are big Metal Gear fans. And can really say a lot about that.
I like Metal Gear from what I played. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan or anything. I definitely am looking forward to Metal Gear Solid 5 and looking forward to playing through that. I've played through a couple of the previous Metal Gears. I'm a big fan of the Silent Hill series, though. So that's kind of it for me. I had heard about Kojima leaving. Again, one of those things that I didn't read too much into. I did have a chance to watch the Rageaholics' recent rant about Kojima, so that's where I got most of my news from, and apparently not the first time he has been said to be leaving the company. So yeah, we'll see what happens when it actually happens. He is a creative guy for what he's come up with, but like a lot of other genres and series, and not just video games, but movies and television. Sometimes the torch has to get passed. You know, the original creator's not around anymore or whatever, so someone else takes the helm. Hopefully, whoever they get to do it can maintain the same spirit of the games and improve upon them. Like I said, the Silent Hill franchise kind of gone downhill since the originals. Further game, more and more people complain about it. So Silent Hills was supposed to be kind of the return to the original, ideas behind it, and hopefully somebody does it right if Kojima's not going to stick around and take care of it. But we'll see. It depends, I guess, on who takes his spot.
I mean, when you hand over a franchise, there's so much that could go wrong, and I guess I'm just mainly concerned for Metal Gear fans because they are also crazy people. Example of yourselves. They like I don't know, man. If you can follow, like people get really into Metal Gear. Yeah. So I don't know if I want to see that crash and burn per se, because that could be interesting from my standpoint. But also, I want good games to be made as a gamer. You know, I don't want garbage. You know.
It is my understanding that even though Kojima's name was taken off the title, he's sticking around to finish off MGSV.
Yeah.
So at least we'll get that. Now, if they want to keep pushing it after that, they may or may not have issues, keeping up. And if there's a 6 or a follow-up to MGSV, then I think that's when we'll have to start looking at quality of product and, who's taking over and all that. Since Silent Hills is so far off, that's actually more my concern.
I mean, I keep, Go ahead, Elvis. Sorry, I'm
And
talking a lot.
in terms of like the market definitely needs more stealthy games, you know, because I'm a big fan of the stealth genre. But the thing is, I'm not very particularly interested that he's leaving because he's been famous for doing stuff like that, like publicity stunts and shit like that. And I'm like just letting this blow over my head, just because it might be just another thing to grab attention of the fans, get people talking about the game, get people interested in what's going to happen and stuff like that. Because it is a good marketing scheme, even though the game will be, even if it's good or bad. You know, in terms of marketing, it's a good way of putting the word out that this game is coming out and this is what's happening. You know, when a game has too much coverage, it's not so good. But when it has not a lot of coverage, it's also not so good in terms of like fan base and expectations and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna let this blow over and just see what Metal Gear 5 turns out to be. In terms of Silent Hills, yeah, sure, it's like a turnaround. You know, maybe he'll bring it back to its origins. You know, maybe he'll make another interesting game on the market. But hopefully they do that right. Hopefully they make Silent Hills a Silent Hill game, not just some run and gun action game that's games just tend to turn into because it sells more. But hopefully it turns out all well. Hopefully, in terms of because he has an ego. He has a huge ego that the internet knows, and I'm just gonna let it blow over. Let it happen. If people want to talk about it and rage about, that's because they're hardcore fans. They're concerned with the future, you know. In terms of him personally, I'm not very interested. Yes, sure, he has good ideas to bring to the table. Bring them to the table. Make good games. Make a name for yourself. Don't try to, how do you say this, self-prophesize, you know, like I'm a good I'm a good game designer, and everything I make should be good, so I'm not gonna stick my name in everything, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, from a PR standpoint, there has been a lot of coverage about Metal Gear 5 in like the past 2 weeks. Like they finally locked down the point of which it'll be sold. The release date was the word I was looking for mid-sentence. Uh, so I mean, the release date September 1st. They showed what the collector's edition is going to have. They revealed the PlayStation plate. Like they're selling a special plate, even though it's coming out on both. So I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of publicity going on, and from what Metal Gear fans noticed, because once again I said they're crazy, and they are. Only they would notice they would only notice like the very most subtle things ever, like his name being off like a website, you know. So like
Mhm.
very slowly that change happened, kind of looking into seeing it could be like a bad blood situation, or he could really be leaving this time. Because if it was like a stunt, there would be a lot more. It would kind of be more elaborate. Like when Phantom Pain was revealed, it was like this dude in bandages and this fake company, and then people figured it out. It's like, oh, it's Metal Gear. So I mean, it could very well be a publicity stunt. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying that it seems a bit more realistic, and that could just be me playing into his hand. You know?
Yeah, who knows?
No one knows.
Any more input last?
Uh, I, I don't know. I mean, we'll see when the game comes out. Either way, Kojima or no Kojima, it's going to be a good game or it's not. And I did see that his name was pulled from the title card and all that, but it's this is a guy who's been sneaking around and sneaking stuff into games for years, so yeah, not a it wouldn't surprise me if this was a publicity stunt. But even if he does decide to jump ship and take off, it might affect the future of Konami. But I'm more concerned with the playability of whatever comes out next, rather than who's the name on the box.
Hideyoko Ninja is what his name should have been, since he switched around so much. Well, I mean, that's all there really is that was noteworthy. I didn't check before we podcasted, so all of our news is old news, because that's what news is. It's old. Man. So, yeah, let's wrap this bitch up and put a bow on top of it. Plug your shit. Whoa,
We've talked about what we're looking for, right? What we're looking forward to, right?
That was first episode. Yeah.
Go ahead, Melvis. What are you looking forward to?
What are you looking forward to?
No, right now, I'm hoping stuff like Rainbow Six Siege turns out well, and hopefully get a release date for 2015, and not 2016.
When I was picking up my copy of Borderlands, they asked if I wanted to put down a pre-order. So I doubt they have a hard date yet, but GameStop is now accepting pre-orders for Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay, good. That's good news to me. I'm happy. That made my day.
I'm so excited now, yeah. Can we talk about the tactical shooter and how great of a thing it is? Just for like the next half hour?
No, tactical shooters. It's a very exciting genre. It's a very intense genre. It's a hit and miss sort of thing with fans. If done right, it could blow up. You know. If done wrong, it's just goes into the river, into the sea of other games, never to be noticed again.
See, what I just imagined is just like a sea of games, and 95% of that sea is ET cartridges. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that genre to return. I love the Counter-Strike series. I mean, Go came out in 2013, 2014, early or late, 2013, 2012. I don't know, whenever it came out, Go is a thing. But, I mean, like, the console hasn't really had a good tactical shooter in a while. So, I'm excited for just to get back in there and be tactical and use teamwork the way it should be used. Not have a 12-year-old call me a faggot. You know, that's going to be great. Not having to listen to Katy Perry through someone's headset is also going to be awesome. Even though those two things probably will both happen. I'm an optimist in this scenario.
I'm going to have Katy Perry queued up just for you.
Oh, yeah. You have to play California Girls, because that's the only song we're legally allowed to play here. So yeah, I'm excited for Siege. I can't wait to go back in there. I mean, I think the only Rainbow Six game I played was I played Rainbow Six Vegas and Rainbow Six 3. So there was some big gaps between my Rainbow Six experiences, but from what I remember, those games have a lot of control inputs and like a lot of crazy, weird, gimmicky things that I want to jump back into and just snuggle into like a blanket, because that's the good analogy.
Yep, I guess we're done for this episode.
Yeah, that was the tactical shooter talk. Plug your shit now. ZeroSumAccess.com.period.apply. Become a member. Propaganda.
Waffles, that was horrible. Lost takeover.
Read over what we're all about. Basically, we're into a little bit of everything that's multiplayer, and we got a lot of guys running through some campaign stuff as well. We're trying to keep proactive and active members. basically willing to play with each other instead of just playing with yourselves every weekend in various games. A lot of the newer titles, in addition to some of the older titles. You can follow me, XLostMonkFoundX, everywhere on the webs.
You can find me here on Waffles Stream.
Yeah, Melvis and I have frequent adventures together. So yeah, just kind of use my YouTube page as a hub because now there's links to everything in there. I don't have to sit here and say every word of social media. So just go to youtube.com/KillerWaffles05. Everything's there. Subscribe. Have yourself a nice time with Melvis and I. R.I.P. Brownie. I'll see you guys later. Brownie.
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 Brownie. We should definitely put a plaque up for him, dude. That was a good horse.
Now we're
Dumb as
getting
he
into some weird Minecraft talk. We're
I thought we were going offline. This is like the end of it.
You know what? Looking back at the first episode we recorded with Lost, it was funny. We need to do that some more.
Yeah.
Can we just become a clan about Minecraft Lost?
Oops.
I don't know if he froze or not. Are we still live?
I have no idea. This is carry on talking. This is after talk. It's the aftermath of the chat.
Welcome to the ZxS After Night Chat.
What was that soundtrack we came up with the name? I forget.
What soundtrack?
Deep Hole? On the stream, dude. 70s porno soundtrack.
Oh, bounce, bounce. That's our new digging song.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, hopefully this blows up and carries on. Hopefully we're not live anymore.
I really hope, because this is some awkward after night chat. I'm getting to TV time finish though.
Oh, he left. It's just us, and it's still live.
Oh, I don't know if this is happening. If this stays live, this is going to be really interesting.
Yep, it will. Okay.
Your hangouts aren't responding. Oh
yeah. Let's just go.
I'm getting kicked out, I guess? I don't know.
Oh, we should be. He was the host.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna close this out. I'll see you later, Melvis.
See you, man.
Good luck on your flight, man.
Yep, thanks.
No problem.